Do you have these laying around? Hey, it's Care. Welcome to My Take at the Lake. I have a lot of these laying around. I shove them in a bowl for a month in case I have to take something back or exchange something or check a price. Why? We save these, but we save these. And sometimes at the end of the month I remember to throw them away, but often I do not. And so I had a Ziploc bag full of these. And I thought, as I was looking at them, they've got numbers and barcodes and logos and QR codes and lists. And I got to thinking, these are a beautiful part of our daily ephemera. We are very much, and with good reason, obsessed with getting vintage ephemera. An 1800s receipt that's handwritten in that beautiful calligraphy, swirly, quill pen handwriting is way better than my Walmart receipt from last night's dinner. But the stuff that we handle every single day is every bit as cool. Well, not quite as cool, but is pretty cool too. So I wanted to take these that I had gathered and do something with them. And I'll link the video below, but I had started something I call kitchen pages. But I thought that what I saw in my mind's eye with all that big bag of receipts was a masterboard, collaging them all together and then stamping them and maybe coffee dyeing a little bit and doing a masterboard. And I thought, oh, won't that be a great cover to my kitchen pages journal? Because after all, it's part of the life thing that I'm trying to capture with the kitchen pages. So one part of the video is all about me showing you how that turned out. Another thing I wanted to share with this video is the genesis of how things happen. When I started the kitchen pages, I didn't know what I was going to do with them. I thought that maybe I would just pull one out now and again and throw them in a junk journal every now and again because they're full of color and life and whatnot. But I gathered them all together and I thought, I think I'm just going to make a journal with them. And so I did, and this is my kitchen pages journal. It didn't go anywhere like I thought, because I thought if I'm doing a kitchen journal, then I want to use a cereal box. And when I decided to collage all those receipts together and make a masterboard, a cover, which I knew was going to be too big, and then use the rest of it as sort of masterboard parts, I thought that would make a great cover. I also wanted to use a cereal box because, again, it's a kitchen thing. I wanted like Cheerios on the cover. And I'll put a picture in here because that's what I did. I used the Cheerio box and I did my masterboard on the back of it. But I did it upside down. I did the collage upside down from the Cheerio box. So if the Cheerio box was right on the front and you opened it, the masterboard would be upside down. Okay, so that didn't work. So I ended up having to cover it. And it turns out, I think it turned out really, really well because, again, it's sort of a metaphor for how we portray our lives. It's an Instagrammable journal. It's nice, clean cover. This is what we want everyone to look. Oh, we have a clean house and our car is always full of gas and it's always clean on the inside and all my clothes are clean and all my laundry's hung up and I have this perfect life. But then when you open it, there's reality. There's coffee spilt and March and mail and due dates and whatnot. And I just thought this was such a fun metaphor for life. It's nice and clean on the outside. It's a facade because the inside is chaos, which is kind of how we live. I'm very happy with how the masterboard turned out. There's Walmart receipt, a gas receipt, and a credit union receipt, and Myers receipt. There's a Home Depot receipt. There's gas station receipts. There's where I get my dog food. So I collaged all the receipts together first. My homemade Mod Podge on the cereal box. I laid down the receipt, homemade Mod Podged over it, let it dry overnight. When I got up the next morning, a good many of them were practically invisible. There's a little QR code there. It used to be, and there's a receipt. There's numbers there, but it's almost faded completely away. So these are mostly just thermal. They're not meant to last forever. Walmart seems to have it it seems more like ink rather than heat. And so most of them faded away, but that's okay. I think that adds to it, you know, different tones and lights and darks and whatnot. Some you can read that it says invoice, some you can only read voice. Then I decided to stamp on it a little bit with some of my utilitarian stamps. Saturday, Sunday, that's supposed to be a Monday. It didn't work. I did another Monday. Oh my God, another Monday. Even after Tuesday, the calendar says WTF. Right? Fun. Glued some dates in, some UPC codes that I've been saving. Like I said, some stamps. Then I spattered some coffee on it and put some coffee rings on it. Because that's life. I love this. I love how this turned out. It's nice and neat, though. It's a nice, neat carry out. You know, it looks good from the outside. And I thought that I had 5 signatures here, so I measured out very neatly. I put 1 in the middle and then measured 2 on each side so they'd be nice and evenly spaced. Well, as I was sewing in my signatures, I realized I had 6 signatures. And so I found the biggest gap and I stuck signature number 6 in there. So now they're not evenly spaced. But again, as plans do, they changed. I also, like I said, I decided I was going to use a cereal box, like a Cheerios box, but I originally thought my favorite blueberry oatmeal box would be big enough. I could make it work, but it just wasn't going to work. I'd have to cobble it together, and this is way too small. So I had to abandon that, and I went to the cereal box idea. But then I did my masterboard collage upside down on the back side, so that idea had to be changed. And the reason I'm sharing that with you, all these things, is because things don't always go as planned. Things don't always work out as you see them happening. Sometimes when you do these things, you don't know how they're going to turn out, and that's kind of the fun of it. It's good to have a plan, at least an idea going in, what you think it's going to happen. But if it doesn't, it's okay. It's going to be its own thing. It kind of teaches you what it's going to be. And I think that's part of the beauty, is the discovery of what this thing you're making is going to be. So after I collaged and did all my stamping and whatnot, I measured and I got the size that I wanted for my pages. And then I have all these parts left over. Again, like a masterboard. I'm kind of bummed that the B&B nails didn't make it into the actual journal. I might use that as a journal card. So there's my Cheerios box. This would have been the very bottom had I done it that way, but I like how it turned out. And then I have these extra bits and pieces, and I just think they're fun. They're very industrial. The XXXs and all the numbers and the codes. It's very industrial and grungy and vintagey, like we like, but it's our own stuff. Our own stuff can be beautiful too. I also thought, since I get a lot of mail, that I would use a FedEx mailer, something that, you know, and that would have pockets at the top, and that would be fun too. But then I either forgot about it and decided to do the Cheerio thing. I could have done the receipt on here if I remembered that this was supposed to be one of my ideas, and I forgot. So again, things don't always go as planned. I thought I had 5, I had 6. It's fine. It worked out fine. This is part of Flip Through Friday. I've been watching Janet Nash do of her Flip Through Fridays based on the hashtag that she was following. I believe it's hosted by a young lady named Christy. I will link all that below if you want to play along or go find some other Flip Through Friday videos, because I find them very inspiring, especially, you know, seeing other people's ideas and how things come together. There is a whole video on my kitchen pages where all this stuff came from, so I'm not going to reiterate that. I am, though, going to flip through because it is the final thing. These are just the signatures. There's stuff in here. It may be a journal. I may start writing in it and adding to it. The other thing I might do instead of journaling it is start keeping track of my lists, grocery lists, to-do list, post-it notes, all those things that you leave yourself and then throw away at the end of the week or when a project is done. I might start tagging those in here, you know, sticking them in with washi tape. I'm not sure. Fruit stickers, the pieces when you get return address labels and they have usually little images. That's what that is, cut off. My mom's handwriting, she wrote Jodi Picoult on something for some reason and tore it out, and I have it. I don't know how. When I bought stuff, I'd stick things down. We have really cool ephemera that they didn't have in the 1800s, like this Meyer thing. We get these in the mail all the time, and they're wonderful. Flip open, beautiful pictures. You can cover up the parts that you don't like. I will cover up this part eventually, but this part I'll leave just as is, and I'm using it as sort of a tuck. I put things in between, so there it looks like the mail, but then there's pages in between. That's very cool ephemera. Labels from when I buy goodies. Envelopes make great pockets. This is a restaurant punch card. Every time you go, you get their initials, and you get 12 and you get one free. I'm not going to use that, so I stuck that in there. Actually, that's my mom's. Pieces of the boxes that canned drinks come in make fine pockets. Candy labels, hot soup labels, because mom's at noon. Food stuff. This is from lettuce. And I did combine vintage and brights here, which surprises me. But every time I got something sticky, I stuck it on it. I stuck them in here. But like this kind of ephemera, they didn't have this really cool stuff in the 1800s. Look how cute that little Frosty is. My friend Leanne got my parents free Frosties for a year last year for Christmas. So all of 22, anytime, once a month, they wanted to go. Or with any purchase, it could be more than... Anytime they went to Wendy's, they could get a little free Frosty. This is cool ephemera, and I wanted to keep this kind of stuff. From one of my new calendars, I made it a pocket. There's another one. Oh boy, big boy. Every time you get a carry out. I don't know why these are my mom's. I don't know why she's getting rid of them. I made a mess on the kitchen counter. I cleaned it up with this. I put them in my kitchen pages. Sticker skeletons. Don't you love getting 90% off anything? An envelope. My friend sent me a souvenir t-shirt from the Galapagos Islands, and it had a nice little card in it. HP for my ink. Cartridges. A piece of music. I don't know why. It just seemed like a good idea. I stuck that in with washi tape. The pages themselves are misprints. When I print something and, oh, it's too small, or, oh, it's too big, or, oh, I didn't need that extra one. Those made their way to the kitchen pages file. Prescription bags. Candy wrappers. These are tags from my pillows. My pillows are 20 years old. You can't read the tags anymore. I don't know why. I just decided to tear them off, but I did. And then I decided to see if my fun sprays would color them, and they colored beautifully. I think that turned out really nice. And it's it's super soft, silky material. I love it. This is a tag off of one of my dog's toys. A little bit from a receipt. I throw coffee on them now and again. Bought myself a new igloo. Look at these teeny tiny little receipts. These are from my mom's old vehicle. I don't even know. These two tabs here and here are from the little box that baking vanilla came in. They're just the perfect size for tabs. So I cut them off, put them on there. Tea holders. M&M holders. I found this teeny tiny little feather, this pristine perfect little feather in my backyard one day. Taped it to a post-it and thought, well, now what am I going to do with it? Well, now it has a permanent home. This was fun. We got asparagus for dinner the other night, and it's got this cutout. It's a perfect topper. So now it's a topper. My mom's list, if she leaves them here and doesn't need them, I've been collecting those just for fun. Some colored pages, packaging, food packaging. We went to the Alpine Chocolate House. They have the best caramel apples in the world, and they're huge, and they will deliver, and you can order online. Go there, alpinechocolatehouse.com. fantastic. Highly recommended. Still lots of things that I could fill up, but I wanted to finally put it together, and I love how it turned out. I also have this idea for my cover. I'll put, my spine bling. I'll put a picture in here because I haven't attached it because I'm not sure yet. It was part of the original idea, and I'm still not sure, so I didn't do it yet. This is a piece of corrugated cardboard. I don't know if you can see it. Didn't turn out very well, but it does give it some added texture, and it's kind of fun. I got this material at the Dollar Tree. I wish I'd have paid more attention when I put it on. I don't like that it's all about butcher, 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 butcher. So I might find something to cover this up. I wanted it to be homey, kitcheny, not a butcher house. But it seems like that's everywhere, is the butcher thing. Pay attention when you're putting stuff on. It's a public service announcement. Anyway, that is my flip through Friday for you. I hope you find some inspiration here, get some ideas. Let me know what you think I should fill this with. Do you have any other ideas? What would be a good way to make use of this book other than A, just a life journal, or B, a home for wayward post-it notes and lists, etc.? Love to know your ideas. And do you think you might start something like this? Do you think it's something you might be interested in? Love to know what you think. You have a lovely, lovely crafty day. Go love up those beastlies. And I'll talk to you again soon. I'm going to take out the lake. Oh, for now.